Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at the Shadow variant of Skarmory in the Catch Cup. I know a Catch Cup, the most important cup of them all, but we're going to actually have a very cool team here. All Shadow Pokemon. I built two of them, now kinda newer because like the Toxicroak is something that I can still use for the Ultra League, which I want to use eventually for a video as well. So definitely stay tuned for this in like 10 years or whatever when I actually decide to build this Pokemon. But otherwise, we're going to have the Saystop of the Tentacool, which was the only Pokemon that actually already built, and as you can see there was some lag, and there was quite a lot of lag today, so definitely be careful when playing Go Bad League. I don't know when this ever gonna get fixed, by the way. I have no idea. I don't have like any inside information or anything like this. Niantic does ignore me quite often anyway, so like it doesn't really matter too much. Like I'm not partnered or anything like this. They don't like me, but it's fine. And we're going to see here these Perion incomes, the Bastion, which is now going to forfeit anyway. So let's take a look at the next opponent. We're going to have the double here, and I decided to swap out straight away. Why do I do this? Because it's very likely that they're running the move Wild Charge, which is currently quite common on this Pokemon, which I also used recently in a video, so definitely check that one out, as you're going to have here the Gust variant of Pidgeot. Might want to take a look at this Pokemon as well, but who knows? Who actually knows? We're going to be able to at least get another move off here if the opponent doesn't go for a Brave Bird. And they decide to go for a Feather Dance, which is great for us, as you're going to see here as well. The Scald is going to be able to come through, going to be able to connect to the opponent, and we can go for the full farm down, allowing us to align ourselves, allowing us to get the Dubwool onto our Toxicroak. But it's not over yet, because the opponent is going to be able to get a full farm down here. And as they are a very squishy boy in the back there, it's going to be a little bit tricky. But they decide to use a shield, and so this game is over. Goodbye there. Wigglytuff is everywhere, and this team destroys that Pokemon. But this team kinda gets destroyed by Skeletorch, so like that is kinda a little bit of an issue here, but it's going to be okay. The opponent is going to decide to go for a charge move straight away, which we decide to use a shield on, and they swap out into the Feraligatr, something that I don't really like to see here, but we can go for the Acid Spray, and this will allow us to get the drop onto them, and we're just gonna go for the full farm down. I'm not gonna go for any charge move anymore, because I kinda have to align myself, and let's see what the opponent is going to do here. They're going to just go down, and they go back into their Skeletorch, spoiler alert by the way. As you're gonna see it now, we're going to be able to go for an Acid Spray first, because the opponent is going to be forced to use a shield here anyway. They're going to decide to use a shield, and we can go for another Acid Spray afterwards. This is very risky, but I kinda wanted to go for that, because as you're gonna see now, look at the damage that we do with our fast move, and we can actually even reach another Scald, but sadly it's gonna go onto a Wigglytuff. But it's still fine, we do a ton of damage, and Skarmory, honestly, Shadow Skarmory was so much fun to play. Would really recommend you to try to build one, because like the damage output of the thing is just insane. Back in the day, like Shadow variant was way worse, because the fast move didn't really do too much damage with Air Slash, but now Steel Wing is like so much better, and look at this, we're going to be able to wreck the opponent. This was, by the way, the first battle that I had with the team, and I was thinking while building this team, there's basically no chance anybody is running an electric type. And no, someone is running a Charger Bug where they used an elite fast TM on to get the move Volt Switch, so that's kinda great. So yeah, this was the first battle that I did with this team. It's always kinda out of order in my videos, don't know why the editing software is just changing it up, but it is fine. We're going to see here, we're gonna get a drop onto the opponent's attack. And maybe I should have undercharged a little bit, because my play here is to farm them all the way down with a Skarmory. And I thought, of course, Skarmory takes quite a long time to farm them down because they're so bulky, but I forgot that we were the Shadow variant, and so Shadow variant is just going to be able to farm them down a little bit faster, which is, in this scenario, actually a bad thing to do, because for us, now we're going to be able to go for a Sky Attack, but we're not going to be able to go for two. And so we're forced to go into our Toxicroak. I'm forced to let this move go through as well. It's going to be a discharge, and they swap out into the Poliwrath, which we can at least still hit with the Shadow Ball. But if you were looking closely here, the opponent is not running counter, which is really bad for us. They are running Mudshot. And so they can go still for one Icy Wind here, and they are going to be able to now go into their Charger Bug and sadly win this game. Next opponent, Lovely Lead. Nothing really can deal with our with a victory bell here. I want to swap out against the opponent way earlier, but the game lagged a little bit and just went for more fast moves. I know if it was like visible or not, but anyway, here we're going to be able to go for a Brave Bird. And basically, if the opponent would have used a shield, I would have decided to go into the Tentacool. As the opponent decided to not shield, I can just go into my Toxicroak and farm them all the way down, letting us align ourselves. We know that the lead does not want to come in against us, and it's going to be a Mantine in the back, and so we can align ourselves. But I think this was also one game where it lagged quite a bit. Here, I decided to go for a Shadow Ball, which is a little bit of a risky play, which did not work out for me, as the opponent can now go ahead and go for the full farm down. I'm fairly certain there was a little bit of lag. Let's take a look at this one. We're going to be able to go into the Tentacruel. We only get one fast move in, even though we should have got two fast moves in, because the opponent went for their own fast move and we didn't sneak one through, which was annoying. So that already kind of annoys me quite a bit. They can go for another aerial ace, which is fine for us. But we're going to see here, you saw the lag there. You literally just saw the stutter, and this kind of allowed the opponent to swap onto the charge move, which was really annoying as well. But it is what it is. We can still farm them down and they don't get to another charge move, but as you're gonna see as well, my antenna is coming back in and it's a little bit scary. I'm forced to call a bait here. It was not a bait, it was a water pulse, and so we just have to hope that Skarmory, even though we're Shadow, is still bulky enough to get to another Sky Attack, and we saw more lag coming through here as well. But we're still actually able to go for a Brave Bird even to disrespect the opponent, and so we can still win the game. So good game there. Honestly, this team was amazing, because I think I went 12-3 with this team, which was kind of mad. Like, this team was so good to play. Here we're going to see Crocalor. Crocalor is going to go up against our Tentacruel, which is lovely for us. We can go for the bait, expecting that they would use a shield, and they did use a shield, which is kind of nice of us. So we could let the move go through. A crunch does not knock us out, and it does not get us into a range where they can farm us down either, but we can farm them down, and this is going to be the important thing here. We're going to end up with a lot of energy from this matchup. They don't even get to another, not even another Incinerate in, which is kind of great. And let's see what's coming in next. We're going to be able to see the Hakama coming in, and as you can see here as well, we can go for the Acid Spray. This is going to be able to drop the opponent's defense, and we can go for another one now afterwards as well. And at this point, the opponent is going to forfeit the game, I guess. I think they closed the app or something like this, because they didn't really want to get hit by an Acid Spray. But anyways, we can just farm them all the way down now, and apparently they just decided to close the app. But I can take this opportunity now to ask you very kindly if you would leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. I always want to say video for whatever reason. But yeah, anyways, the opponent would have had here the Incineroar in the bag, which would have been a lovely matchup for us, because we had the Toxicroak. There was no way for the opponent to win this game anyway, before someone cries in the comment section again. Speaking of crying, look at the next opponent. Bye bye. So, moving on, next opponent coming through, we're going to have the Whiscash in the lead. This is a very bad lead for the entire team. Whiscash is a Pokemon that I don't want to face with this team, but yeah, I guess apparently someone got a very good variant here of it, and just decided to build it for this cup, which is fine. We can still try to deal with it. My play here is to just go ahead and try to get 2 shields from the opponent, because this is going to be the best bet that we can go for. I decided to use a shield here as well. Hopefully it's going to be a Scald. It is going to be a Scald, so that's going to be great, because energy is wasted. I know that we're going to get into a range now where Mud Bomb is going to be enough to knock us out, and I don't really like this, but I'm going to accept it, because I'm not too sure if I would have been able to reach another move in time. And so I decided to go into my Toxicroak. We have some more lag there as well, which didn't matter, but it is just annoying to see. And the opponent goes for a Mud Bomb, but we can luckily go for the full farm down in time. And now we have energy, and the energy is going to be able to go up against Annihilate. And we can say goodbye to the Annihilate, because Toxicroak just doesn't like this Pokemon. Goodbye there. In the back is Stunfisk. I make a mistake here. I should have not went for the charge move. I always win CMP. There is no benefit of me going for this charge move. I should have just swapped out immediately into my Tentacruel, try to go for an Acid Spray. If I reach it, I would just knock them out straight away. If I don't reach it, it's fine as well. But as you can see here, the opponent is going to go for a CMP tile against us, which is kind of lovely, as now we can go for one Acid Spray, drop the defense from the opponent by 2 stages, and they can knock me out if they want to. Doesn't matter, we can counter them down and still win this game. Still not ideally played, I should have just kept my energy. This opponent, you're gonna see it anyway, the opponent has Nidorina here. Nidorina has access to the move Thunderbolt, and so I decided to use a shield here on a double resisted Poison Fang. I know, it's lovely. I should have honestly just let the move go through, by the way. There was no reason really for me to do it like this. And we can see here the Mana Boss coming in. At least we're going to be able to hit a Brave Bird against the opponent, which they actually decide to go for. Yeah, they're going to use the shield anyway. That's kind of fine for us. We can swap out into our Tentacruel. We should be able to take 2 charge moves from the opponent. As you can see here as well, Dark Pulse is not going to be enough, and we can let the next move go through as well. I don't really need alignment here, so I don't really need to use a shield. We have some more lag coming in, which is of course always lovely. But Scald is coming through now as well. It is going to connect against the opponent. We don't get the debuff here, which is quite unfortunate. But we're just going to let our Tentacruel go down. I can go back into my Skarmory. I can even take a move if they get to one, which they actually do, which is a little bit annoying, but it is going to be a Dark Pulse. And we're going to see here as well that the opponent has a Manton in the back. And my play here is to go for a Brave Bird. And the opponent catches the move perfectly on the Nidorina, and so I decide to forfeit. Well played by the opponent, interesting team here, and we can move on to the next opponent. Gligar in the lead. This is more what I like to see. This is going to be great for me, especially in the lead. And so we can just stay in here. The opponent decides to go ahead and go for their own charge move. I can let the move go through. There is no harm in this. The Aerial Ace is going to be able to connect, and they can catch the move again. I don't know like what the random catches are from the opponent currently, but it is great for them. But we can at least align our Toxicroak, go for the full farm down. I don't care about the Power Whip, it's going to be resisted no matter what. And so they're going to get me low with that, but also the energy on the Gligar doesn't really matter too much either, because we're going to have our Skarmory. We can go for a Shadow Ball, going to be able to force a shield from the opponent with that, which they're definitely going to spend here as well. I don't think I would have been able to go for 2 Mud Bombs, and I don't think it really mattered anyway. And so we can align ourselves. I still decide to use a shield here because the Dig might actually do some damage, but they decide to go for the Aerial Ace again. And so I can go for a big Brave Bird against the opponent's Tapu Fini. They decide to use a shield, which is lovely for us because you have the hardest answer to Tapu Fini in the back. And so we can go for the full farm down against the opponent, which is quite lovely, as the Nature's Madness is not something that I really care about at all. And we have now Scald and nearly another Scald stored. Look at this, they win Team Peter against us, which is not what's supposed to be happening. That's great for us. Hooray. I don't think so, at least. I don't think that Gligar is winning Team Peter against the Tentacruel. Maybe I'm wrong, but it doesn't matter anyway. Next opponent, we're going to have a lovely lead again. We're going to see here the Mandibular swapping in against us, which is also okay for me. I can stay in for a little bit, I can take some damage. My entire team beats Victreebel, so I'm not really too worried about this Pokemon. And so I can stay in for a little bit, go for a Brave Bird, see what the opponent wants to do here. Do they want to use a shield? Do they not? They decide to use a shield here, which is fine. Shield advantage is always kind of a lovely thing to have in the Go Battle League. And so we're going to most likely force alignment with this as well, if we really want to, because we can go for another Scald here. Let's see if we finally get a debuff on a Pokemon with Scald. Let's find out. We do actually, which is kind of cool. And so we can let the move go through. We don't really care too much about it. It's going to be the Dark Pulse, and yeah, I can just go for the full farm down. Even if they would knock me out here, I don't really care too much because I have 3 answers to Victreebel. We can go for the debuffing move Acid Spray, which maybe was not the ideal play, but at the end of the day, I think it's kind of not really mattering too much either. But they're going to have a Flygon in the back, and this might be a little bit more of a trickier matchup for us. They can go for the Dragon Claw here. They're running the new fast move of Sand Attack, which does quite a lot of damage. But what we can see as well is I can just go ahead and go for the full farm down with the Toxicroak, because Toxicroak does so much damage with the fast move of counter here, and we can just go for a Mud Bomb and knock them out. Final opponent for today, we're going to have a lovely lead here as I swap out into Tapu Fini just to get walled by the Tentacruel. Like, what a way here for the opponent, getting completely walled by our triple shadow team so far. Nature's Madness, I don't really care too much about it. We can go for the full farm as we see some more lag coming through, as we can try to go for the Acid Spray here, because Acid Spray is going to drop the opponent's defense. We can get more damage in with our fast move, as well as a Scald that is coming in next. They decide to use a shield. That is definitely not the play for them, and so they get hit by a very hard hitting Scald. We need like 1 more fast move or 2 more fast moves to knock them out, but they have a Mantle in the back, and this can be a little bit scary, I have to say. And so we're going to see me staying in here for sure, as we can use a shield on a Water Pulse, which is actually the right call to do as well. I can go for a Sky Attack now, but honestly, I just like the closing power as well of the Shadow Skarmory. I feel like Skarmory is like such a cool Shadow Pokemon here right now. They decide to go for a charge move, they win Team Peter. I am happy about this, as it's going to be the Aerial Ace anyway. I can go for the Brave Bird. This is going to be able to connect and boom, knocking them out and winning us this game. So, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Shadow Skarmory is a must-have in my opinion. Like, this Pokemon was so much fun to play, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.